Welcome to LMS. This is Pramod Pattar from Government Polytechnic Bankapur. So I am giving the presentation about prepare bar bending schedule and fabrication of reinforcements for 2S lab experiment number 8. The course outcome is CO3 and construction practice 5th semester and civil engineering. And before going to actual experiment part, first we shall see what is theory of 2S lab. If the Ly by Lx, that is the length by breadth ratio, is less than 2, then it is considered as a 2S lab. In 2S lab, the main reinforcement is provided in both the direction, that is in longer direction as well as in shorter directions. That is Ly by Lx is less than 2, it is called as 2S lab. If Ly by Lx is greater than 2, greater than or equal to 2, it is 1S lab. So this is the basic difference of 1S lab and 2S lab. So we go to actual experiment part of view. So first one, aim, prepare bar bending and schedule of fabrication of reinforcement for a 2S lab. So materials required are bar bending table, bar bending key, crowbar, chisel, hammer, steel and binding wire. And data given is internal dimension of the room given. So how much? 3000 into 4000 mm, that is 3 into 4 meter, 3 by 4. Then bearing of a wall is given 230 mm. Bearing of a wall is 230 mm. And thickness of the slab is given 125 mm. Thickness of the slab 125 mm. And main bar along the shorter span is given 8 diameter at 125 mm, and main bar along longer span is given 8 dia at 150 mm. So this is about the given data. So given data is, using the given data we can calculate the total quantity of steel required for a 2S lab and bar bending schedule and fabrication of reinforcements. Then what is bar bending schedule? It is a detailed list of bent reinforcement bars given in any structural concrete element. It is a detailed list of bent reinforcement of bars. Bar bending schedule contains bar mark, diameter, length, shape and weight. So it contains all. So bar bending is a process of cutting and bending reinforcement steel bar into desired shape as per structural drawing given by the structural engineer. So very important, we should cut and bend the reinforcement steel bar into desired shape as per drawing given by the structural engineer for various structural elements like footing, column, beam, slab, etc. So a bar bending schedule, it helps site engineer to estimate required quantities of various diameter of bars used in the constructions. A bar bending schedule helps a lot to the site engineer to estimate the required quantities according to the given diagram, that is bar bending schedule. So it contains diameter, length, shape and weight of all the bars. So we go to the actual experiment part. Then it is the plan of the given data of the slab, 2S slab. Plan of the slab is given. See here, plan is given here. Here effective span along the longer span, and it is effective span for a shorter side, 3000, 3230 including bearing. Here 4000, 4230 including bearing of the wall. Here 423, it is the bent up length, and here 323, here it is the bent up length. So and they have also given cross section at AA here and cross section at BB at the center of the beam and at the one edge of the beam, cross section at AA. So here, see here, the bars are, main bars and bent up bars are placed alternatively. See, this is the main bars and this is bent up bars. They are placed alternatively along the shorter and the longer direction. Along the longer direction, see here, one straight bar, one bent up bar. So they are placed alternatively. Here also they are placed alternatively. And this bent up length we will see in the calculation. So section at AA, the bearing is given, depth of the slab is given, and the bent up bar and main bars, they are alternatively arranged along the shorter and longer span. The same diameter of bars is placed along the shorter and longer span in two-way slab, you all know. So here it is straight bar and it is bent up bar length. Here it is bent up bar length 543, 443 for this is shorter span and this is for longer span direction. So calculation, so bent up, we go to the calculation directly. Bent up length in the longer span is given by 0.1 into Ly, it is 423 mm. So bent up length in the shorter span, it is 0.1 into Lx, it is 323 mm. Then length of the main bars along the shorter span, it is given by the formula clear span plus 2 into bearing minus 2 into clear cover plus extra length due to bent up. It is given by 3000 plus 2 into 230 minus 2 into 15 plus 0.4 into D. D is 125 minus 30, that is 15 mm cover, 15 plus 15, 30. So due to bent up, 4.4 into D. The actual length of main bar along the shorter span is given as 3469 mm, that is 3.469 meter. The number of main bars along the shorter span we calculated using this formula clear span along the longer span minus 2 into 50 minus 2 into 50 divided by 125 plus 1. So 4000 minus 2 into 50 divided by 125, that is spacing of the main bars along the shorter span plus 1, it is 32.2 approximately equal to 33 numbers. Then we go to the next step of calculation, the length of main bars along the longer span. See the length of the main bars along longer span, same experiment, same formula. So length of the main bar along longer span is given by clear span plus 2 into bearing minus 2 into clear cover plus extra length due to bent up. It is given by 4000 plus 2 into 230 minus 2 into 15 plus 0.414 into D, that is depth of the slab 125 minus 30 is equal to 4469 mm, 4.46 meter. So number of main bars along the longer span is given by clear span along shorter span, clear span along shorter span minus 2 into 50 divided by 150 plus 1. So 150 is the spacing of the bars along the longer span. Here spacing at the longer span 150 and spacing at the shorter span we have 125. So that is the difference of spacing of bars. So we calculated it as 20.3. Approximately it is equal to 21 numbers. So total number of main bars along the longer span is 21 numbers. So then by using this data we will calculate quantity of steel required. So first weight per meter It is how it is calculated by using this formula. D square is divided by 162. D square is 8 square. 8 is the diameter of the bar divided by 162. It is equal to 0.39, and total length into weight per meter. Total length by adding those two, we will get 208.33. It will show in the bar bending schedule total length of the bars in along both longer span and shorter span into 0.39. 0.39 is weight per meter. It is constant. It is weight per meter. So you multiply 208.33 into 0.39. It is 81.25 kg. That is the total quantity of steel required for the given slab. So this is very important. Bar bending schedule for two-way slab. It is a tabular form, contains serial number, members, number of bars, diameter of in meter, bars in millimeters, and length of the bars in meter calculated, and the total length of the bar, and the bar details, drawing details of the members, main bar, bent up bar, like that. We will get all the drawing details also. So first we consider main bars. Here number of bars are calculated 33, and they have diameter 8 mm and length 3.469 in the shorter direction, main bars, and the total length is of main bar is 114.48 meter. So then similarly main bars along longer span is calculated. Number of main bars calculated as 21, in diameter of the bar 8 mm and length in meter 4.469 meter, and the answer is 93.85. Then total length in meter, you add these two. First main bars along shorter span 114.48 and main bars along longer span 93.85. You add these two, it will give total length of the bar in meter along the shorter span and along the longer span. So then we will go to total weight per meter. Weight per meter of the bar 0.39, D square by 162.32, and then total weight in kg 81.25 kg. Therefore this is called as total grand steel required in kg 81.25. So this is very important for site engineers. Bar bending schedule for two-way slab. It is created by structural engineers and used by site engineers to get the total quantity of bars required and total kg of steel required. Then we go to the procedure, actual procedure. The procedure contains what actually we do in the laboratory. We will do in the laboratory. According to the given data, we calculated bar bending schedule and fabrication, and then how we do in the laboratory. So first one, step by step we will discuss. As per drawing, measure the cutting length of the main bars of a given diameter and cut them to size. So this is first one. As per drawing, what we should do, we measure the cutting length of main bars of a given diameter and cut them to size. This is the first procedure. And second point, for the bars to be bent up, mark the length on the bars at a distance given in the schedule. So this is very important for the bars to be bent up. Where we bent the bar, for cranked bar, mark the length of on the bars at a distance given in the schedule. So the distance is given in the schedule, you just mark the bent up length, and then bend the bars at the right angle with 45 degree. So this is also very important. The bend the bars at right angle of 45 degree with the help of bar bending table. We should have bar bending table and levers and chisel, hammer, etc. for the cutting and bending of the steel bars. And third one, place the chairs and mark the slab of given spacing and place the main bars. So given spacing in the shorter direction is 125 and longer direction 150 mm. So according to spacing you place the reinforcement according to the slab dimension and place the main bars. So this is about third point of the procedure. And next point, arrange the bars in such that the bent up bars are placed alternatively. So arrange the bars in such a way that the bent up bars are placed alternatively. Tie the bars with the binding wire using the hook. So this is also very important. Without tying, the bars will not fixed. So tie the bars with the help of binding wire. Binding wire is most commonly used to tie the bars. So care should be taken while tying the bars. We have to take utmost care while tying the bars. They should be tied firmly and strongly. They should not loosen after the concrete is placed. So we should take care of this before going to the next step. So care should be taken while tying the bars and they should be tied firmly. Bars should be tying firmly. So this is about the procedure, which is how to conduct the experiment in the laboratory. Then these are some references I have gone through, and you are also, if you are interested, you please go through these textbooks and any other RCC textbook for the two-way slab. Then MCQs. Next part of this experiment is MCQ, multiple choice questions on two-way slab. So we shall discuss one by one. So this multiple choice questions helps you to get the knowledge about two-way slab in a better manner. So I have collected some 10 multiple choice questions. So if you are interested, you go through any other online sources or any other textbooks to get this multiple choice questions. The design principles, first one, you consider the first one. The design principles of a continuous flat slab floors are similar to first one way slab, second one two-way slab, third one continuous slab, fourth one deformed slabs. So answer is which one? Answer is two-way slab. The design principle of a continuous flat slab floors are similar to two-way slabs. So answer is B. B is the right answer. So the second question we will discuss. In case of two-way slab, the deflection of slab is calculated by considering longer span, shorter span, both long and shorter span, and none of the above. In case of two-way slab, the deflection of the slab is calculated by considering what? So they have given 4 answers. So right answer is shorter span. Right answer is what? Shorter span. The answer is B. Answer is B. The answer is shorter span. Next we go to the third question. A rectangular slab of 6 meter into 8 meter is designed as the Ly by Lx Ly by Lx 6 by 8, it is 8 by 6, Ly 8, Lx 6. Then it is designed as one-way slab, two-way slab, both one-way and two-way slab, none of the above. So you calculate the Ly by Lx ratio, that is 8 by 6, 8 by 6, you calculate L 8 by 6. What is the answer is 8 by 6, 1.33. It is less than 2, so it is designed as two-way slab. So the right answer is B. B is the right answer, two-way slab. Then fourth question, the thickness of slab depends upon length bar effective depth ratio, diameter of the bar, spacing of the reinforcement, and size of the aggregate. They have given 4 options. The right answer is which one? Length divided by effective depth ratio. The thickness of the slab depends upon length by effective depth ratio. So this is the right answer. A is the right answer. Then fifth one, in the two-way slab, lifting of corner occur due to first one, resultant shear force, torsion movement, unbalanced movement, resultant stress. So they have given the 4 options. The right answer is which one? In two-way slab, the lifting of corner due to torsion movement. The right answer is B. The right answer is B. Then sixth one, in two-way restrained slab, the corners are held down, torsion reinforcement is provided at each corner, edge strips are provided, and all the above. So they are given 4 options. The right answer is in two-way restrained slab, all the above. The right answer is all the above. Corners are held down, torsion reinforcement provided at each corner, edge strips are provided, and all the 3 are holds good. So all the above is the right answer. Answer D is the correct answer. Then 7th one, RCC slab is designed as a two-way slab when a slab is continuous over 2 opposite edges. Then slab is cantilever, ratio of longer to shorter span is greater than 2, then ratio of longer to shorter span is less than 2. So obviously the D is the correct answer. Ratio of longer to shorter span ratio is less than 2. So this is a two-way slab. RCC slab is designed as two-way slab. Then we go to the next question. Aspect ratio. Aspect ratio is the ratio of longer to shorter span, shorter to longer span to depth, and shorter span to depth. The right answer is longer to shorter span. The aspect ratio is always longer to shorter span. Then 9th one, the amount of reinforcement for main bars in a slab is designed for minimum bending moment, maximum bending moment, maximum shear force, and minimum shear force. So the right answer is maximum bending moment. The answer B is correct answer. The option B is correct answer. The amount of reinforcement for a main bars in slab is designed for maximum bending moment. So B is the right answer. So then go to the last question, 10th question. Two-way slabs can be analyzed using first one, Pigot's theory, Westgaard's theory, Johnson's theory, all the above. See, the two-way slabs can be analyzed using you all know Westgaard's theory. So they have given 4 options. The right answer is Westgaard's theory. So these are some important MCQ questions on two-way slab. If you want more, you just search in any textbook or in online sources. These are the MCQ answers. Some MCQ answer, all the MCQ 10 answers of MCQ is given. And thank you. These are all our moderator and subject experts, and followed by 6 content developers. We are 6 content developers, 3 subject experts, Mohan Kumar sir, Siddhgangappa, Rajkumar sir, and moderator is Girish sir, HOD Civil Engineering, GPT Harihar. Thank you one and all.